Are you looking for a paint sprayer for your house or projects? Today we're going to check out the MaXpray Airless paint sprayer. So hold on and we'll see how it does. MaXpray sent us this sprayer to give us a chance to check it out. It's the M1 model, so I'm going to put it together and then we'll go through the setup and how to get the thing cleaned, primed, and then we can just go ahead and get spraying and then we'll clean her up. So what's included with the M1? Of course, the instruction manual and the assembly manual as well. All right, and of course you have the head unit, the hose, your spray gun, and it also comes with an extension. And then you've got your assembly tools, cleanup tools, and your goggles that they send with it as well. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get our hose, and then you've just got standard little, looks like 3/8 inch connectors on this. And that is one stiff hose. And when you're assembling this, always make sure when you're tightening down the hose or untightening it or on the gun, just make sure you're going to go ahead and back up both of these nuts. That way you're not twisting it on the machine itself. Okay, I'm just going to give that a good snug. All right, so, and then we'll go ahead and get our gun attached, and the same deal on that. Just going to screw that on. And again, now this is on a swivel, so you can move your gun around and you're not getting everything bound up, which is really nice. So we'll go ahead and get him tightened up as well. All right, so now we have our gun, and so you can go like this. Like I said, that swivels around, which is a nice little function. On the head unit itself, there's also a spray and prime switch. When you're going to be doing your initial spraying for the day to load up the gun with paint, you'll need to prime this. And the unit will not work unless you get it primed. So you'll be switching this. We'll be going through that in a bit on how to get that primed out. And on the bottom as well, there's another switch down here, and the sprayer and the unit won't work without actually engaging this switch as well, besides the switch on the top. The instructions are very well. They're step by step on what to do. In the instructions, it says it does have cleaning material or when they've assembled it, but that needs to be cleaned out. I'm just going to clean it out with water and get this thing primed up and ready to go. So what I did when I cleaned it, the unit, you detach the return hose from the suction hose. They have little clips here that you can do that. You're going to rotate from spray to prime on this switch here. And on this switch here, you're going to go to prime clean. So I'm going to go ahead and just switch it on real quick to show you what it did as it did the cleaning. Okay, so I ran about 2 gallons of water through that. So now that it is primed and clean, I'm going to reattach the hose. I'm going to submerge the return hose in the water along with the suction tube. And now that it's all primed up and cleaned, I'm going to turn this switch over to spray. And I'm going to also go to low spray setting on this dial here as well. So I'm going to just switch that on. It's going to pressure up. Now it's pressurized. So as soon as I hit the trigger, it's going to repressurize. Every time it loses pressure, it kicks back on and rebuilds. So that's a great quality. And also again, why it's not in use, switch the lever to lock, and that'll keep this trigger from getting pulled accidentally. So we went ahead and stained 900 foot of picket fence, and the machine worked great. As you can see in that everything sprayed out evenly, and we went through basically about 10 gallons of stain to complete the project. Well, this is our project for today. We're going to go ahead and paint this feed bin that we have on our property. And we're just using a primer with a paint. We're going with white. And we're going to go ahead and get the machine set up, go through the priming process with the paint, and then we'll go ahead and shoot it. So to go ahead and go through the priming process, we're going to go ahead and dip our screen and return hose into the bucket of paint. And then at that point, we're going to go ahead and just adjust the knobs. I'm going to go ahead and bring this knob all the way down to the bottom of the arrow. And this one, I'm going to switch over, as you can see, over to the prime setting. All right. Now, when we're ready to go ahead and prime, we're going to go ahead and just run this over. There's an arrow right here, and it says prime clean. Once we're to, the settings are all correct, we're going to go ahead and turn the machine on. Once we turn the machine on, I'm going to go ahead and depress this. You can actually hear it click. It's a little valve. And so that's, if it's got a little paint in it from a prior spray, it'll unstick that so you can prime it out. So we got that. I'm going to touch that, and I'm going to turn the machine on. And then we're going to, as we do that, the machine will suck paint up through the pickup tube and discharge it through the other tube. And once that's done, the machine is primed, and then we'll prime the hose. All right, so we've got paint going up the pickup tube and actually discharging through the discharge tube back into the bucket. So it's going through the machine. So right now the machine is actually primed. So now we're going to go on ahead and prime the hose. So we are painting a tall structure here. So I'm going to go ahead and put an extension on it. The machine comes with a 12-inch extension, and we'll go ahead and slip that on. I'm going to unloosen the spray nozzle and install our 12-inch extension. We test stuff before we actually use it. So I found that there was a little leakage on the extension tube. So I just took a little O-ring that I have, and I put that inside the extension tube, and it fits exactly where it's supposed to fit. And now I'm going to go ahead and screw that on. Okay, and I'm just going to give that a little snug. And I'm going to put my sprayer tip back on. So we did end up contacting the company on this little leakage right here, and they're going to get that resolved. So we do have a project we have to do, and the winds are up and down, so we need to go ahead and just take care of it. So we'll go ahead and prime the hose now. I'm going to, on the end of it, you can see the little arrow. This is in the spray position. This is in the unclogged position. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the spray position, and I'm going to switch on the machine. Now when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and spray it into my bucket. Okay, now we've got the hose primed, and we're going to go ahead and switch the machine over to spray. Okay, so we're ready to spray. So we're going to go ahead and rotate our prime spray nozzle, and then we're going to come over this side of the machine and rotate this to low spray. So now when I turn on the machine, we're ready to spray. Okay, so before we spray, we want to go ahead and rotate our spray tip to where the arrow is pointing that way. And then if you need to adjust your spray pattern, depending on, if it's up and down or whatever, you can turn this the end, and it'll change the spray pattern, either vertical or horizontal. Okay, and at that point, when you turn it on, it's going to pressurize that fast, and it's ready to spray. If it keeps rotating, you'll need to reprime, but we're ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust my spray up. I'm going to give it a little more pressure just to see what it does. And because I'm going to be spraying this way, back and forth, I'm going to go ahead and rotate my nozzle like that, and go ahead and start spraying. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the machine, I'm going to rotate the lever to prime clean. I'm going to rotate the clean spray to prime. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take my bucket here. I'm going to take the discharge tube, throw it back in my paint bucket so we're not wasting. And I'm going to tilt the intake tube up. Okay, so what I did, I just shot the paint that was in the machine back into the paint bucket. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I've got my old bucket with the paint in it as well. And I'm going to take the pickup tube, I'm going to rotate these both into the clean water. And I'm going to run this back through prime again. All right, so I'm going to rotate back to spray. And what I'm doing, I'm emptying the sprayer hose into the bucket so I save that paint as well. As this picks up water out of the bucket, it's also going to pressurize the system, and so I can reclaim this paint. Okay, and now it's back to water again coming out of the hose. It's a water paint mix. So I'm going to take that, put that aside. Now this is all clean paint. I'm going to obviously reclaim that. And now I'm going to go ahead and clean the system up. Now there's two ways of doing this. If you're working with water-based paint, they supply a hose connection. And what that hose connection does is it goes right on the end of there on this pickup screen. We're just going to put that screen back in there. And this is just a standard hose fitting right here. So I'm going to hook that up like that. And now what I can do, I can hook up a garden hose to this and clean the system that way. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and screw my hose into that. I'm going to rotate the lever on this side to prime clean. So now we're in the cleaning process. And I'm just going to put everything into a waste bucket. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm just cleaning the hose out right now. Once this goes to clear water, because it's coming out of the, the water tap, the clean water tap, I'm going to go ahead now, I'm going to shut off the machine, rotate this to prime on the valve here, and you can see it's actually just cleaning the machine just off city water pressure. And we're going to run that until that runs clean. Once we have everything cleaned up, then we can go ahead and just take our brushes provided and clean the machine up, clean the head up, and get all the old paint off. And then once that's done, it's ready for storage for a while. Okay, as you can see, there is quite a bit of overspray, and that comes with every machine. We just happen to be lucky to live in a windy area. When we started painting, 0 wind. By the time we were done, it's probably already up to 7 miles per hour, and that was within 10 minutes. So, you just kind of got to work with what you get. So on the machine itself, it does lay down a very, very good paint. I was really impressed with it, the way it comes out of the sprayer tip and the pressure. So no problems with that. And also the instructions are very clear. They have pictures for me and written instructions for people that like to read. As far as the price point, it's around $300 on Amazon. We'll have that down below. So that's basically the overview of the machine. Just one reminder, if you're painting, and because these machines do take a little bit of time to clean up, if you're running low on time, get a 5-gallon bucket and just put the spray head in the bucket of water and the tips or whatever you can, just so you get it when you get a chance to come back to it. Make sure you get it cleaned up, because you do not want to leave paint in a machine. It'll just give you problems down the road, and there's no reason for that. So that's it. So we hope you liked the video. As I said before, the links will be down below, and we thank you for watching DIY on the House.